You're on the recruiting trail. I think it's very important for people to know this. This was a really good year. It didn't quite meet all the expectations that we wanted to from an NCAA standpoint, but 20 wins, I think it's documented in the release, all the first that Georgia basketball was able to accomplish this year, and which sets the table for a big year next year. And I think there's a lot of momentum building towards that, and we just thought it's the right thing to do at this point in time.
Greg, I know you never said expressly that he was on the hot seat or whatever, but was there a point this year when that question was answered for you, and was there a point when you decided, secondly, that a contract extension should be in the offing?
No, I think I'm just like other fans. You look at certain things during the season, but that's why you wait until the end of the year to really make decisions of this nature. There's so many highs and lows in every sport. Look at football back in 2011. We start off, 0-2, and, if you make your decisions then, I think you're not taking the whole picture into account. So that's why we want to see how things fleshed out the whole year, and you just don't kind of make those decisions midway through the year or 3/4 of the way. You wait till the whole body of work is in place, and then you make decisions based on that. So there wasn't a point in time until after the season when you review everything, you see who we've got coming back. You look at our scheduling for next year, and you look at all those things, and felt like if we can continue to do what we did, build on this year, and then after this coming year, build on that and keep building on that, I think that's where we all want to be in a 4-year period.
Yeah, you said you're given this extension, but it doesn't mean that you're satisfied with where the program is right now. Where do you want to see it get to?
Well, I think our program should be just like any other program that we sponsor. We want to be competitive in the SEC, and usually if you're competitive in the SEC, you're competitive on a national level. So I think we all, every sport we have with 15 different head coaches, our goal is to all be competing in the NCAA championship for whatever sport that may be. So if you look at our goals as a department, that's one of our goals, is every team competes in their national championship. So basketball should be treated just as other sports as far as that expectation.
You mentioned in the release, you talked with Coach Fox about discussing recruiting plans. Yeah. I guess if there's been a real criticism of Coach Fox, it's been the recruitment, the fact he's not consistently able to bring in the top players of the state of Georgia. Right. How does he, and I guess you, plan on addressing that aspect of it?
Well, that's the responsibility of the head coach. Mm-hmm. We don't get involved in staffing decisions, personnel decisions, other than the head coach. But I think from that standpoint, Coach knows what needs to be done. Mm-hmm. We need to recruit at a very high level because you have to continually kind of restock every year. And so that's a very important point, and we did talk about that as well as other things. But needless to say, sometimes that is the elephant in the room. Mm-hmm. And, we realize what needs to be done, but, our staff stands ready to assist in any way.
Maybe this is a question we better ask of him. Has he been frustrated with recruiting, the lack of not being able to get the quote guys that have been targeting?
You'd have to ask Mark that question, but I'm sure there's some misses that disappoints him throughout. You work so hard on certain individuals throughout the year, and things don't turn out your way. Sure, it gets frustrating. It's not due to a lack of trying, I can assure you that. Mm-hmm. But that's probably a question better asked by Mark, because we just have to provide the resources. We have to provide all the tools necessary to make it all happen. And then it's up to the coach, and we're able to help with official visits, setting things up, transportation, all those type things as far as providing the financial resources to make it happen. So I couldn't answer that. Mark would be able to answer that better than I.
How did you come to 2 years as opposed to 1?
Well, I think there's a time for a young man or wants to maybe feel comfortable. It kind of puts to rest any questions when you're talking to a high school prospect of, well, how long are you going to be around? So I think this kind of takes that off the table from that standpoint, which is important to anyone entering to the depth of their initial contract.
Did they have a season